Welcome back to Giggle and Gal Pals. Time to gallivant
Gabbawai.
gavot through Calendra. We are currently giggling our way through our deep dive of Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. While we may be your Giggle and Gal Pals, we don't recommend listening to this podcast around little ears or ears that may be offended because we say bad words and shitty things.
While covering this book, just know there will be spoilers for the entire book in each episode, so please stop what you were doing and go back and finish the book if you haven't already. Like, literally, there's the third to last episode. Go read it. And reminder that thoughts, feelings, theories, and just things that we say can evolve, change, or be debunked, or just be completely off the rails. Regardless, it's all for fun and not that deep.
That's what she said.
I don't have anything to chit chat about. Like, I mean, I have a lot to say, but it's for chapters.
Yeah, our notes on chapters, we went a little hard, I feel like.
I really am into that theory that I will discuss today. And like, I forgot it's not 100% canon. So I went really hard. So why don't we relax those shoulders, unclench those jaws, clench that clam, and begin our journey?
No.
Okay, well, we're not now.
Chapter 47. So that kiss essentially ruined Odessa's life. So she can't stop thinking about it. It's always touching her lips. On her face, to be clear. While she's hanging out with E-Baby, the questions are flooding her mind per usual. Is Ransom miserable too? Whose house even is this? Who actually has claim to E-Baby? So many questions, so little time. Jocelyn was on her way home. Good riddance, ya bitch. Odessa went to visit Samuel Hay and told her that she has a task. Nope. Told him that she has a task for him. She lets him know she's making a map of Tara for her father. Not for her father, though, for her. Good Lord. Sam isn't too keen on the idea, but took a look-see anyway. He asks her why, and she tells him she wants to find the truth, and with the truth, she will set herself free. She was tired of being a sparrow in the cage. She says that she thinks something is going on in Alisaria, something that just isn't right. She's convinced the source of lyssa is in Alisaria. Saria? Which one is it?
Alisaria.
Alisaria. And the boys can kill all the monsters they want, but if they don't kill off the source, it's as Joey Tribbiani would say, it's a moot point. He said he would take a little peek-see. He asked, what is this road? And she said, a winding line that snaked in the mountains. It was a guess, but somewhere in the mountains was a hidden city. Does that make you happy?
Do you think that Sheryl Crow was playing Every Day is a Winding
road? Yeah, probably.
100%. That's exactly what Devney Perry was thinking, like, for the soundtrack.
I think you're right. What if how the monsters are drawn to Odessa, she's drawn to Alisaria? Like attracts to like. Something is calling her, and she can't ignore this hunch. Like, she can't let it go. Why?
Is it Mama?
That's what I'm wondering.
Or are the gods calling her home?
On her way back to her dig, she heard a commotion. She headed that way and her skin started to prickle. The high priest is out doing a wind show for the children. Kids were freaking out. Odessa couldn't believe that the magic wasn't making their meat suit prickle like hers. Surprise, surprise! Ransom's back! She refused to give him the satisfaction of admitting she missed him. They went on a little walk because allegedly that helps him clear the fog after the Voster siphons the lyssa out of him. Question time. Where does he sleep when an elder? His room is right underneath hers. She can think of something else that he can get underneath. And laughing at my own joke. Had he seen a healer for the lyssa? Yeah, but he didn't know what was up, so he went to a Voster. Did they immediately start siphoning it out? Nay. It took a bit for the Voster magic to attune to it. Why can't he just take it all out? It's bound to him. It's become a part of his very being. Take it out and it would end him. It's bound him like a blood magic. She had some thoughts about this.
So the high priest, like, making the leaves swirl in the air, just makes me think of clowns for, like, a birthday party, and next he'll be, like, pulling out the endless string of handkerchiefs out of his mouth. But I'm just picturing, like, every time the Voster walk in, the every time. That's where my brain goes. Even though they're, like, super serious, totally the opposite of that.
I like it though.
Sad clown club. Okay, there's a line that says, I saw a healer after I was bitten. He told me I was lucky to be alive and that I should praise the gods. When I started noticing changes, I went to him again. He told me it would pass. He didn't want to admit he had no idea what was happening to me. He was the best healer in Tara. If he didn't know what to do, then none of them would. I went to the high priest after that. Do you think that this is because the healer didn't think much of it or was told not to think much of it? Ramsay is so suspicious. Like the best healer in Tara wasn't interested in trying to figure it out. It seems a little weird, right?
It does. It does seem weird. But it could go either way, though. Like, I totally agree. Ramsay is sus. I hate saying that word. Yeah, why didn't he try to dig deeper in it?
I just feel like usually healers are like curious and like they want to like finish a job, not like, sorry, it's a little too much. No, thank you. Like, and there's no other healer that was interested in, trying to figure it out. Everybody was just like, no,
It
that's
makes
crazy to me.
it makes you wonder, where was this healer? Was it in Alisaria? Because maybe that healer did know about what was going on with Lyssa because of his mama created it, and they're trying to cover their tracks and act like they couldn't help. Because then they would start digging. He would start digging in a little too much, and people would find out. I don't know.
Or was he where the best healers are, which is,
Lane, but
yeah,
the but the best healer in Tara wasn't interested. So
why not try Lane?
yeah, why did he just stop after one? He just believed in the Vibros.
Well, I guess like I understand why not going to Lane because like they don't want people to know that he's sick, but why not hypothetically? Or
Right.
it doesn't make sense. There's not a single freaking healer that would look into it. Suspicious.
Maybe they're just covering their own tracks because they helped create it.
And also like how he feels foggy after the Voster siphons. Like, is he foggy because the Voster was siphoning it out, or just kind of like moving it around, not fully removing it? Like kind of stir, you know how like when
Yeah,
you mix some things, the water becomes foggy? What if that's just all they're doing because they don't want to heal him because he's part of the solution
right.
and they are the problem?
I know. Are they the problem? We've said so since the beginning, but what if they're not?
Imagine if they are good guys. I will eat crow if they are actually the good guys. I just don't trust them.
No, I don't think they're trustworthy, but yeah, I don't know. Ransom forced her into a hand-holding sesh. She tells him that Lyssa must have been created by the Voster because they're the only magical beings in Calandra. Ransom is convinced it's not, and he trusts the Vibros. Des isn't so sure. The real issue comes up, and they talk about him lying to her. He apologizes and then brings up his dad and says that his dad knows Xavier still is his stand-in. He knows he's the guardian, he knows about Lyssa, but he doesn't know if he has tied it all together. We find out he hasn't spoken to his dad in 4 years because of Evie, because of E-Baby, who is apparently his sister. They want to keep her on the DL. Why, you say? Because he had tried to kill his mother.
So he says that he has so much faith in the Voster, but why? Why does he have
I
so
don't.
much faith in the Voster? Like, it's crazy to me that he doesn't explain it. Like, they did X, Y, and Z for me, so I know they're solid dudes. No, he's just like, I trust them. I have faith in them. Like,
Maybe he's not allowed to because of the blood, though. Explain why.
or because they have something to do with the gods. So he's like, oh, God. But he also doesn't trust the gods necessarily.
No, he says they sit on their throne. And yeah, so I'm not sure at all.
Ransom is being messy.
He is, but I don't think he can't say anything because the blood oath. So that's kind of an added layer. Is it just because he was brought up to have so much faith in the Boster? Like people are brought up to have faith in priests and then they look the other way when things happen, you know?
Solid question.
Because, if you think that people in power are supposed to be great, it's hard to go against that.
Yeah. Even Odessa's like, Ransom mate.
I know.
Rough day for words. It's a rough day to exist.
Yes, we're killing it today.
So Ransom might not want to consider the Voster, but I'd suffered through enough of their magic to know it wasn't a blessing, but a curse. And I just think Odessa's choice words there, words matter. Like for her to feel like it's a curse,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a throwaway.
I don't think so either. But I don't have an answer. But I don't think it's a throwaway. I don't need
What if they're just like the actual curse? They're the problem. It's them. They're the problem for
Right.
sure. And once you like 86 them, everyone's healed. That simple. But what if they're like super hard to kill too?
Yeah, maybe it's, well, we made the comment, or it's in here that if you kill the Voster, then all the treaties are like done. But what if it's like a catch-22 of you have to kill the treaties and the monster? But I don't know. I just feel like it's, you know what I mean?
I make that comment later in this episode.
Do you?
So yeah, I love the path that you're on. Like, let's table that and get back to it.
Love that. Okay.
There's another comment. So it's just weird that Samuel Hayes, full name his government name,
Mhm.
wrote that Odessa's dad, King Cross, tried to kill Odessa's mom, but Ramsay actually did try to kill Ransom's mother. So just interesting that he wrote that about Odessa's mom when it happened to Ransom's mom. Just weird.
That they're just on the same path than little twin flamies.
Have we seen King Cross and King Ramsay in the same room ever?
Oh God. Starting a conspiracy. The same person.
Same person. Chapter 48. So naturally, Odessa has questions because same. Turns out Ransom's mom didn't actually love King Ramsay, and like most power-hungry men, he couldn't accept that he wasn't getting something he wanted, which was her love. So that made King Ramsay turn from a cool guy to a not-so-cool guy. Then we get more Ransom family facts with his mother's parents and her brother were killed during the last migration. They took shelter as soon as the first scout was seen. They had a room built with supplies stocked beneath their home in Paris, but at some point they took ill during confinement, likely from mold and poor air supply. Maybe if they'd waited a few weeks after the scout, they might have survived. We'll never know.
So before we get into your thing, Odessa says, she thinks to herself, is that why Margot was so rigid and bitter? Because she loved my father and father loved my mother's ghost. It just kind of makes you wonder what a rigid, bitter Betty is capable of and what they would do, like with May and making sure she's the queen. And I think it was one of those, okay, stop. You know how on Housewives, when Kyle talks about people saw that Mauricio was such a good husband, and then they would start DMing because they want that for themselves? Well, what if this is a simple case of Margot seeing that, like, oh, he's such a good husband to his wife. I want that. She kills the wife, her mom, and tries to get that, but it doesn't work out.
So I guess it just comes down to, do you think Margot's friend or foe?
It could go either way. I don't really have a strong opinion. I can argue both.
Yeah.
What do you have? Or like,
I feel like she could be friend.
I think she could be too. I don't trust May.
It's either yes or no.
I know.
She is or she isn't.
I feel like May is the least trustworthy out of Margot and May.
Yes, I agree. I don't trust her sister, her bitch sister, true bitch sister.
True bitch sister for sure.
Maybe May will have a redemption arc, but I don't feel, well, at best a redemption arc, but for sure she's trouble.
For sure.
So we also learn what a scout is, which means every migration begins with the scout's solitary crux that warned the migration was on its way. According to records, once a scout was spotted, the horde of crux usually came within a month or two, which means these are sentient creatures for sure, not just some pissed off monsters to keep humans in check. Ones that can think and communicate. Maybe part human. Rogue theory, but what if the crux are the children of the gods and humans, not just a monster, but result of the six breeding with humans? A curse placed upon them for being born of two beings, or possibly someone that called upon a god and was cursed to be a crux, like they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain or whatever.
I'm with you with that. I don't think it's that outlandish. I could see that being a thing.
Because you also have to think about the fact that this is 3 centuries. A lot of, or yeah, three
Yeah.
centuries. So a lot can happen in those 3 centuries. Like the six could have had a lot of babies, you know? They
Hmm.
could we know that gods like to fuck.
They do. Gods love to fuck.
So then we also have Odessa mentioning that the Voster's magic feels like a curse, not a blessing. So being cursed isn't completely out of the realm here. So maybe Odessa is the result of two gods or her mom being a crux and loving a god. So the god blessed their child to be the one to break the curse, aka Odessa. Just like Ransom's mom, maybe Odessa's mom never really loved King Cross, so she escaped him to go back to Alisaria where you can access the gods.
I like that Odessa was born like to break the curse. Her mother, possibly a reincarnated god, like I think, marries a king and bores a child will have something in her bloodline that has the capability to break the curse. Like, what if it's an intentional, like, she's coming back, like, I have what's in me to break this curse and end this now? Because, say, she is Sora and she's fighting against the six, and this is her way to get them.
What if she is Sora and was cursed and that's how she became part crux and then, that's
Right.
still loved a god or something.
Yeah. So many
King
possible.
Crux just seems like he sucks and I don't think he deserves love.
No, he doesn't. And like, did he really love her mom? Like they make this comment all the time, or was it he just wanted to control her and covet her?
Like, would she look good to add to like his luxury status because he's a man that likes money? Lots of questions.
Lots
Probably need that second book.
of probably that might be helpful.
So the good part about Ransom's mom marrying the king, she wasn't in that shelter, so she survived. She did have a lover, but baby E was not her lover's. She was an official princess of Tara. Turns out Ramsay strangled Ransom's mom, and Ransom stopped it. She was amidst hiding the pickle with her lover. Ramsay caught them and beat the shit out of the lover and 86'd him from life. Ransom got his mom to safety, and so Odessa is like, have I met her? And Ransom says nothing. As Blakely would say, a little skin on some floor of shadowing here. Ramsay still wants her dead, though, so Odessa needs to keep all this on the DL. Ransom, being the ever stand up guy, is protecting Baby E until she can make the choice of what life she wants to live. This gets Odessa's ovaries throbbing, but she will never admit it. Ransom makes a comment about his death, and Odessa is over him saying shit like that, probably because she loves him and refuses to accept that. Maybe it's a hunch of hers. Who's to say? Speaking of that, do you think it's a hunch of hers that she is refusing to accept like his quote fate unquote?
Yes, I think it's a good point, Kylie. I think she knows there is an answer, even if she doesn't know what it is deep down. Like she has a hunch. Like no, she just won't accept that. It feels too wrong to
Every time she answers or like does something, I feel like it's based on her hunch right now.
her. Not to be like not a hump, but a hunch. I know humpback.
She does not Quasimodo this shit. She
No.
like has feelings. So Odessa and Ransom then get to talking about how the king sucks and that Ransom, as the guardian, will keep the people of Taras safe. He then tells her that there is a storm on the horizon. Odessa's like, hello, the crux migration? He's like, no. I believe your father has found a way to break the Shield of Sparrows, which would cause some chaos across Calandra. Ransom then tells her how, by killing the Voster, end the Brotherhood and you end their magic bonds. And I feel like Odessa is going to have to kill them regardless. The treaty will have to be broken to free them from the curse, and then they will have to forge a new one, which is, I guess, was expanding on what you were just saying. They will have to kill them or break the treaty, but then they'll reforge one.
Right. I'm with you on that. The fucking Bree Bros, though. Do you think they were created by the Six or a specific member of the Six?
What if they are the six?
I thought I made an alluded to that a couple episodes ago, like throwing it out there. But like, what if? Like she made that comment of like, oh, there's hundreds or thousands, nobody knows. What if there's only six? We've only seen two, right?
What if Amma and Oda got pissed off at them and cursed them
Yeah.
to be the six? To be the six. They are the six and cursed them to be Foster brothers.
Or what if when the six made the crux, right? That cursed them and they turned into these gross little things.
These salad finger looking
I know.
motherfuckers. Yeah.
Like, what if that was what happened? Yeah, like I'm not against them actually being the six.
And maybe, well, if they were the six, wouldn't they want Odessa to be free? So maybe they're freed from these bodies unless, like, somehow it kills them.
It makes
There's
sense.
some plot holes here.
It would make sense that they are the six, though, in some ways, because of the magic. And if her mom was Sora and like their magics are like not against, they're like, they don't work. They're not.
What if the gods and goddesses use the Voster, like, uses them essentially as puppets for them, like,
Mm-hmm.
uses that. So each one is controlled by a god. So that way they don't have to, like, be on Earth or Calandra, ew.
Right.
But,
Yeah, it's something to ponder.
that is.
Just
Deep thoughts with, I almost said matched our last names, but you know what? We're not married.
no with the Fuas. Chapter 49. Odessa is like, wait a minute, you can't kill the Voster, right? And Ransom is like, he will certainly try, which she doesn't understand because if treaties are dissolved, it would mean war. Ransom tells her Quentis has a geographic advantage, plus he has enough gold to secure a navy. He doesn't need to stage a war, he just needs to wait out the migration and let other kings war with one another, then sweep in and claim it. Like we said in the beginning, King Cross was playing chess. Yes, he wanted to get the Prince of Tura there early and pretend like they needed their help, but really it was a double whammy. He got the kingdom goods without paying for them. He's trying to take as many of the resources that he can, which once again brings me back to episode 1 when we wondered if the so-called drought was actually man-made situation made by her father. Or, I mean, unrelated to this point, could it be Ransom draining his magic, which we also said in a prior episode. So King Cross, he's a little mastermind. Shady motherfucker.
The Bobby Fischer of
Mhm.
Calandra. It's really thanks to Housewives that I truly know who Bobby Fischer is.
Odessa asks, why wouldn't he just try and have the Voster on his side? They have magic. Ransom tells her that magic comes with strings, and the Brotherhood will never answer to a mortal king. Mortal seems
Words
that
matter. Words matter.
but they will stand by those of their choosing. It became clear to her that her father saw them as a threat and they were an obstacle in the way of his power. Odessa was definitely fishing with, well, even if he could figure out a way to kill them, no one knows where they live. Husband, husband, you know where they live, don't you? He said nothing. Alisaria. What in the fuck happened 3 generations ago that made Voster seek refuge in Alisaria? What happened to make the kingdom turn into little secret keepers?
I really want to go back to the line. The Brotherhood will never answer to a mortal king, but they will stand behind those of their choosing. So it just begs the question, like, are they already answering to somebody that's there? Like, once again, are the Voster
Mm-hmm.
the gods themselves? But have they already chosen the person that they're going to stand behind? Is that why the Guardian trusts them so much? Like, did they choose him? And so the Guardian has this secret with them, and that's why he has so much faith in them because
Yeah.
they put their faith in him.
I mean, it's
So,
possible, I think, or probable would be more so than possible.
so that makes me feel like, they have their faith in him, but I still feel like Odessa's going to have to kill them, and it's going to cause a rift between them somehow. But she will need to do it regardless. But he's like, no, don't do it,
Like that, exactly like that.
Just like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know, because it could go a couple of ways where I just don't know, are they bad or are they not? Like, they're set up in a way for us to be suspicious because that's what Odessa thinks in her brain, and just, like, with their magics not clashing, acting as if Odessa has magic, but she's got something. But what if this is just, like, a writing tool and, like, a gotcha with Devney where they actually are good, we are just missing information? So, I don't know.
Why choose if they're good or bad?
Why choose? Not in this book. We'll figure it out in the next one. Odessa wanted to know what would happen if her dad came after the Voster, and Ramsay said that he would defend them, and he was certain of his loyalties. Magic involved? Perhaps. There was a secret treaty where they would have to defend them. Des said you'll have to lay off the book burning, and then it hit her that he was burning books not to punish people, but most likely so invaders wouldn't learn of secrets. Ransom isn't sure of his motivations because his dad just doesn't make that much sense to him anymore.
Why would Ramsay potentially fight so hard to keep information out of King Cross's hands? Book burning seems dramatic unless there's gods or access to them in Alisaria. Maybe it's a blood oath to protect them that is driving him to extreme paranoia. Is Ramsay actually a good guy that we don't understand? Or do we think he is just as bad as King Cross, but in his own right?
I don't know. A part of me feels like Ramsay's misunderstood. Like, I think we have missing information that, like, will all make sense. Like, we already know that Ransom was like, well, he tried to kill her and he thought it was because of the affair. It wasn't. It was because he had just learned of what she did to Ransom with giving
Yeah.
it Lyssa. So I think, and he was a good guy. Like, I understand him getting bitter that his wife doesn't like him and she's fucking somebody else. I don't really think he's that in the wrong for that. Sorry.
No, I mean, like,
Are
his
valid.
feelings are justified. Yeah, they're very valid. We will allow that. Maybe his actions don't match that. They're not great, but
But,
sometimes you
like,
just see a little red and you
yeah,
try to murder people.
yeah, he didn't, like, need to kill that guy, you know? But,
He
like,
just then just killed him. Like he beat the shit
shit out.
out of him.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, because he was pissed of what she did to their son.
So
So,
that goes back to me saying, like, is like him being driven to extreme paranoia to protect his people. Like, all maybe he's just like got tunnel vision, like, I gotta save my people, I gotta save my people. So he's missing things,
right.
and including being a good dad.
Right. He's operating out of fear rather than love.
He's operating on feelings, not facts.
Yeah. I'm with it. In here, Odessa made the comment, Margot had guzzled too much wine. She made a comment about how much father had changed after my mother's death. Was she fucking him before?
I think that they've definitely canoodled, but Margot was one of her handmaidens, and
Yeah.
so she would have been around the king. Maybe they were like, thruppling it up. Who knows?
And she
Why
thought,
choose?
why choose? It always goes back to why choose for you. Ransom doesn't agree with the way that his dad is going about things, but he gets it. He wants his people to be safe. The kings don't have an easy job trying to keep their peeps safe by the giant bird terrorists that attacked the kingdoms for 2 months straight, aka the Monster Super Bowl. If only they could stop it. She then was like, wait a minute, why are you telling me all this? And he said, I can't trust you with all my truths, Odessa, but I will give you as many as possible. Forgive me, my queen, please. He kissed her, and then some scream was a real cockblock. Ransom ran towards the gate and told Odessa to stay safe. Told Odessa to stay safe. She ran back to her suite and grabbed her knives and told E-Baby to watch over Faze. She ran towards the screams and convinced herself it was the V-Bros' boss. JK, it was actually Beowulf's. But what if the V-Bros intentionally made him weaker that day? Her thoughts, no?
He was a little foggy.
Mhm.
You don't know. So Odessa thinks, I wish there was a way to stop the migrations to effectively fight the crux. Not kill them. Stop them. Fighting them could mean curing them. Words matter. I mean, like I said, if they are cursed, who's to say they can't be uncursed?
It's true.
Words matter.
Words matter. The V-Bros, sorry. It's one of our sayings that we say all the time. I don't know why, it just made me laugh. words matter. The Vero was fighting the werewolf. FYI, it was a lyssa werewolf, so that's inconvenient. She found a teenage girl and made her run away, and then a soldier with a big old bite. The soldier said, "Don't go, princess," but she ran for the little boy that was crying for his mama who had a hole in her gut. As she was running for him, she felt a shift. We'll get back to this. And she had the tensions of the monster. The one-eyed werewolf was staring at her and made that little boy headless. Why did I write that? The barrels all started clicking, and then all their eyes turned on Odessa. Ransom yelled for her to run. Every monster was hunting her down, but wind slammed through her. The high priest was standing in front of her, blocking path. The high priest uses ice magic to kill the werewolf. More icicles went flying. He saved her. Ransom thanked him. Xavier Boy called him away, and they ran towards the gates to reopen it so they could kill a monster. She felt a shift in magic. I know we have sense in us where we can feel when someone's like staring at us. Our bodies can kind of sense that energy, but the wording, I felt a shift. Little sassy pants.
She felt her magic tickle the werewolf's magic. I don't know why tickle was my word choice.
We like the word tickle,
You know,
especially with the pickle.
yeah, slap and tickle, hide the pickle.
That's just what we do.
So yeah, I think like she could feel like maybe her magic connecting to the lyssa. Like maybe it was searching for, it has its own tentacles and it was like, this guy.
When you did that, I pictured in Davy Jones's locker and Pirates of the Caribbean, little tentacles, just so you know.
See, that's where you went, and I went, Daddy, would you like some sausage?
You know, makes sense to me.
That's in your brain a lot.
Like we keep on saying, I know that we're like convinced that the V-Bros are bad, but what if they aren't? And what if it's something else? Like they did just save her.
What does your intuition say right now? That they're good or bad? Like, forget everything that we know. Like, what do you feel in your heart?
My hunch? You're wondering my hunch?
Yeah.
I do still think, I think they're bad, but I don't, yeah, I think they're bad. You?
I mean, they could be cursed too. I think they're bad, but potentially cursed.
I think
And that's why they're salad finger looking motherfuckers, because like nobody looks like that unless you're cursed.
right. Well, nothing.
What, are we gonna talk about Voldemort? Like, I
No.
don't think he's good either. Do you think his hair ever grows back? Do you think he has to
Voldemort?
shave it? Yeah.
No, I
Does
think
he have hair follicles left?
I don't think so. Yeah, does like he have a waxer, to get those eyebrows off?
Does hair grow anywhere on his body?
Does he get like one chin hair?
Can Voldemort grow a mustache, or does it only grow like right under his nose?
Little Hitler stash. That's nice.
Can you fucking picture Voldemort with a Hitler stash? Because I can.
Like Voldemort, it grows in. He goes, "Ooh, my evilness is complete."
I picture him if he has like a Hitler stash with like a Frau Farbissina accent. So also, before my Voldemort tangent, so the way the one-eyed wolf is also very aware of things, like makes me wonder if they are aware of this before they are infected, or does Lyssa like make you so bloodthirsty? But that wouldn't explain how the one-eyed wolf is smart enough to get away and keep targeting them, unless those infected with Lyssa have a master. And this thought is continued in the next chapter.
I think they do have a master, but I am excited for the continuation.
It's like a sage situation.
Yes.
Chapter 50. Pull up your bootstraps, kids, because we're in for one.
Oh shit.
Pull up your bootstraps.
Yeah, sorry, I scrolled. We both threw up all over the page.
This is a yapping one.
Let's go.
Still so no.
Still so no.
Strong start.
Still so no.
Still no ransom for Odessa and no Xavier for baby Ian Elder. They got a little hopeful when someone showed up, but it was just Samuel Hayes. Even though 31 people did not make it thanks to the attack, life had to go on as usual. So the boys were off slaying monsters. People were gossiping about the green blood. Shit is getting real now. The Bear Wolves are being strategic about their attacks now, as they demonstrated with distracting the guards. So this here, mindless crazed monsters shouldn't have had the intelligence to coordinate such an attack. Maybe it hadn't been orchestrated and we were simply reading too much into it. But whatever their intent, they managed to distract the guards and cause a ruckus, apparently. While the bear wolves outside the fortress had clawed and scratched, some trying to scale the walls, the other had raced for the gates before they could be closed, breaking into the courtyard. Makes me possibly think that there is a hierarchy that could have leaders communicating with a master of some sort. Clearly, some are smarter or more progressed in their journey of Lyssa. What if Lyssa is infecting them the way it is Ransom, like enhancing their abilities? So the ones that scale the walls could be newer, while those heading towards the gates are more progressed in their abilities, as in like they're further in their journey and so they're a little bit smarter.
I think this is exactly right. I think it would have the similar effects that it did Ransom. So it's like the longer they have Lyssa in the bloodstream, the more they become super monsters. So that's one you could think maybe the Voster want Ransom to have Lyssa in his blood longer, so he's more of a weapon.
Fighter.
Yeah, later on.
Because we do know it enhances capabilities. So it's going to enhance capabilities on these monsters, assuming like it works the
Right.
same way it does with humans. So it has to enhance their brain capabilities because Odessa assumes they've been driven by bloodlust. Like, is it truly bloodlust or is there more to it? Because, like, how would they know to retreat? So obviously, like, we're progressing in that brain.
Yeah, they're definitely driven by something. A common goal, perhaps attracted to our favorite little sparrow, which we know they are, but like why?
I think that there is a command to kill her by the Voster. Who knows? Samuel Hayes was not there for tea time, but to talk about the map and how he finished what he could, and now he was out of there. Odessa fixed her maps and was sure that Lyssa was coming from Alisaria, and even though people say the Voster were not to be trifled with, she blamed them too. She burned the map after adding the additions to hers. She decides to go for a sad hot girl walk, and then she hears hooves. It's Halsin's party, though, not that sexy guardian, so she thinks. We learn that Tilia is with child. Yay for her. Scary time to get pregnant, though. Tilia lets her know that he's on his way. Unfortunately, they didn't find the Beowulf pack. It's like the pack is abnormally evasive for someone who's so good at hunting monsters. Weirdly smart, like that brain's working.
Maybe the six are controlling these monsters. Something is.
I mean, it could be the six, it could be the Voster, but somebody is giving those damn commands. Like, they have a picture of Odessa and they're like, this one, find her.
This is the one.
Wanted.
In the Beowulf's dens, there's just wanted pictures of the den.
They have like a wanted poster for her and the guardian. The one-eyed one is like, this is the one.
Every time we say one-eyed Beowulf, I want to say one-eyed Willie, but that's inappropriate. Doesn't make sense. I just needed you to know, okay?
When you were saying that, immediately I was like, purple-headed yogurt slinger. Like, that's where my mind. So we are on the same path.
So Odessa says, my frustration cloaked the room. Stuffy, hot. Like, I understand, when we get frustrated, you do kind of like feel hot, but it sounds like magic to me.
Sounds like it's pouring out of her because she can't control it. Which makes me wonder, like, going back into the story, how many times did we see her kind of like fill the room with her emotion before and we just didn't notice? So Daddy has arrived on Orinda next to Xavier, who got an owie and was in a sling. Odessa finds out that Tilia was in on the gig that Xavier moonlights as Ransom, but Odessa learns that she is now a part of the inner circle. They arrived with two unconscious men, totally normal, not in the list bit, least bit suspicious. Either way, they won't wake up and have no bites. Ransom struts his fine ass to Odessa. She tries to lie about not missing him, but nothing gets past that man. Things were cool till the Boss approached with her dad's Boss Bro. Boss decided to head toward Odessa and grabbed her hand. She described it as pain as sharp as knives and as hot as fire, lanced through her arm like it had been cleaved in pieces. Her legs buckled as a cry tore from her throat. She tried to break free, but he didn't let go. Ransom told him to let go, and he finally did. Ransom asked what the fuck the boss was doing, but boss was having a different conversation, which I will read word for word. The high priest only sank the soles of his feet, seemingly unconcerned with Ransom's blade, and turned to Brother Dime. Did you know? I thought she was simply frightened, like so many. The high priest cocked his head to the side, dark eyes locked on my face and hair. Who is your mother, child? My mother.
Ma-
Asking about my mother. But before I could ask, a shout carried across the courtyard. Luella hauled ass there to tell Ransom that Evie is gone. Okay, so let's talk about this combo.
Let's do it. So before we get into it, because we both, oh yeah, I guess I go a little hard here. So he says fuck me. She says his gaze cuts through the crowd like he was as linked to me as I was to him. Sounds like me. Also, his eyes are green. Just want to throw that out there. But like that was linked to me as I am him. It feels more than just those little scars.
Sounds like they're magnets.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go.
So, I have a question. Do
Sure.
we think that Brother Dime is maybe a cool Voster? Because he made the water crown over Odessa's head. He clearly knows something about her, but didn't share with the boss. And I think that's an interesting situation here because, like, he's the one to be feared.
The water crown could be explained that he had already know Ransom's plan to marry her instead of May because they just watched her jump. But that's not a lot of time for them to have that conversation from her jumping, seeing like, I don't know, but I'm with you. I don't know.
Because this Voster has been around her. He's been the
That's
king's emissary. So, like, he may not have touched her until she ran into him the day that she met the guardian. But like, who's to say he can't sense something different about her? Because there's no way that this guy has been around her for years and didn't know she was dyeing her hair. There's no way that the Voster can't smell her hair dye because they're magically enhanced.
and if he was the emissary for Quintus, like, wouldn't he know who her mother was?
Yeah.
Or was
Unless
she,
there was
or
an
did she,
emissary beforehand, but he's always been the emissary.
or did she die at like childbirth? Like we don't have information of when she died. We know that she doesn't remember her mom at all. Like when did
So
she
it has to be young age, like 4 before.
easily? Yeah.
Or
But
trauma blocking, who knows?
yeah, I don't know.
But I am suspicious of Brother Dime because, yeah, he's been around her whole life. And the fact that the high priest locked his eyes on her face and then her hair, that red hair is really fucking coming into play.
The red hair is something's there. And especially just with like Ramsey making that comment about you would fall for someone with red hair. Like, what the fuck? What does that mean? What are there a bunch of,
Later diet.
yeah. Are there a bunch of redheads in Alisaria? Like, what's happening?
There's only ever been one redhead, and that's why it's super suspicious.
And like she had no soul. So it was like this whole thing. No, just kidding. Redheads, you have souls. I'm kidding. JK.
All right. Blakely has a theory.
I don't know.
Blakely has words.
I have a lot of words. We'll see. So the question of who's Odessa's mother. While we don't get any more information about Odessa's mother here, it's definitely clear that she's important. The reaction to the magic means something. I'm still going with her mom is the god Sora. Reminder, Big Calf told her it was her favorite myth. I'll read it here. It's a woman named Sora who sailed across the horizon. She was gone for hundreds of years, but when she returned to Calandra, she brought with her creatures and animals our realm has never seen. Some believe that this is where our monsters came from, not the new gods, but a god we've never known more powerful than any other. From our research, we know that the name Sora means sky or heaven. What if Sora reincarnated, like they talk about, some people believe in this book, and came back as Odessa's mother? It would make sense that Odessa's eyes don't have the starburst because she isn't tied to the land of Calandra like her mother is tied to the sky. Now, how this relates to the Vibros, what if the Voster were made by the Six, so their magic is different? Maybe Sora and the Six were enemies, and that's why their magic has such a negative effect on Odessa. It's interesting that the monsters are drawn to Odessa, like the blood is the same as the one that's brought them to this realm. So maybe the crux was created by the Six, but the monsters of the land were created by Sora. Like how Faye's example, her monster has no problem with her, is drawn to her because her mom was the one that brought that line here. Maybe the crux wasn't just created to keep the people in line, but maybe to fight the monsters that Sora brought to the land.
What if the gods aren't even actually from Calandra? Amma and Oda and the Six, they're from a different land. Sora went to escape them, came here, and they were hunting her down, and that's how all this became. And they're like, well, I'm gonna curse you and have you turn into a crux. Curse you and all your people you brought here for a new start. What if she did what if it was the goddess, Sora coming there, bringing all the animals and stuff that she brought with her, those were cursed to be crux.
Yeah, I think Sora is definitely a key. I do stay canon. Sora's her mom. I'm pretty locked in with that one.
I could, walk down the aisle to that. I won't marry it to next book, but I would walk down the aisle and then hold off on my vows.
Yeah, like you'd wait at the first pew, before you go on the threshold. Yeah.
Dramatic, walk up and then next book I'll marry.
Chapter 51. Luella was freaking the fuck out because E-Baby was MIA. Everyone started searching. Ransom yelled and could hear a whistle in the distance. Big Calf came walking towards them with E-Baby in tow. She found her walking on the road not far from the tunnel hatch.
So there was a swish of white hair, a woman wearing a simple tan dress with long sleeves, and a girl in pink with a quiver of arrows on her back and a bow in her hand. Big cast. Right place, right time again. Is it a bug or is it a feature? Is she a goddess?
She definitely is. I feel like that goddess of luck has touched her. Daria, right?
Touched by an angel, you know?
Touched by an angel. Daria, the goddess. God touched. God, it feels
It's suspicious of Big Calf. She just keeps ending up the right place, right time.
like the whole book. Every time she pops up, it's the right place, the right time.
Do you think she's a god or touched by an angel?
She
I
could
think she's
be
touched.
I think she's touched. Like Daria's chosen one.
Yeah, she's been placed there to do a solid.
Or maybe Sora.
You might be on something there.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, that child is born to fly. Kathleen stared at baby E with love brimming in her gaze. A mother's love. You will all need to be mindful not to clip her wings. It's more important to keep her safe, Ransom said. You must find a way to accomplish both, or you will lose her to the wind. And I just think those are very carefully chosen words from Big Cat, not just to represent baby E, but also for Odessa. She said it in a way that means both.
And it's definitely reaching, but loser to the wind. Okay, what's the Voster? The
They're
wind.
magic tricks, yeah. Good catch.
Just was a weird way to say you'll lose her to the wind. Who says that?
I mean, we have talked about the fact that she can fly, so
Right,
maybe
no.
hasn't spread her wings yet.
And then I just keep on thinking, okay, say Big Cat is somebody was sent on a mission with Sora to help her, help things work out. Remember, she was a part of later in the later in the book, where on the necklace, how there's the little wings. Don't clip her wings, and it's like a wing, and then Sora means sky.
Don't break that necklace.
Don't break that fucking necklace.
That's the whole point of the story. Don't break the necklace.
Something. Kath hugged Luella and she told her to find her later so they could catch up. Everyone has places to be, so Big Cath and Odessa walk together. Big Cath told her that her and Luella has been besties since childhood. Luella grew up wanting to be an alchemist, a healer, and a traveler. She didn't want to be limited, and being her friend was inspiring, which wasn't the Luella that Odessa knew. Des asked her what happened, and she told her that the crux changed her after her family died. Odessa asked Ransom where the tunnel was, but he told her she already knew where it was, down in the dungeon. She asked him if Big Cath was his mom, and he told her no. He then asked her what happened with the Voster. She told him she didn't know. She had never touched a priest before. She didn't realize it would hurt that much. Ransom told her it doesn't hurt. She was like, what? Did I say something wrong?
She has never touched a priest before. Sister, a lot of them have not.
I have.
I mean, I am ordained. Touch.
I have touched a priest before.
You slutter bucket, as you would say.
He wasn't a priest then. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I
You
took.
turned into priesthood.
I converted him. Yeah. After me, he was like, wow.
I can't have her. I can't have anybody.
I took a priest V card, so pretty impressive for me.
It's one for the books.
She's never touched a priest before. Not many have, and I go, I have. I really have, though.
You know, between the two of us, we really have just fully experienced life.
You know, we really went for it. Oh, goodness. Ransom told her it doesn't hurt. So sexual now. She was like, yeah, huh? It's like feeling their magic, but 1,000 times worse. It went straight in her bones. You guys.
Devney is a romance writer.
I wrote, he's like, coma again? Come again? Coma?
Como again?
Como está? Okay. What do you mean feel magic? And she's like, oh, you know.
She felt the magic stick.
This is stop. Okay. And she's like, oh, you know, the stinging, prickling sensation. God damn it. God damn it.
I'll mute myself.
And he's like, you get it? And he's like, nope. It hurts when he siphons, but I've never felt his magic. He hadn't heard of anyone saying that they could feel it before. And then they learned the vibros were gone.
Who would have thought that would have been so sexual?
It's my fault.
Yeah.
Actually, it was your fault.
It doesn't hurt.
It was your fault because you're like, well, most people haven't been touched by a priest. Like, hold my beer.
You really, really relate to Odessa in this moment.
I just feel like Devney's obviously very much highlighting that she's different. God damn it, Kylie. Stop it. Get that little smirk off your little slut face, okay? She isn't a regular human. She's a colonial. I don't know. Different. Fuck you. This whole episode is gone now. It's not going the way we want it. Because
you're the one who's been touched by a priest, like.
Just to be clear, guys, considering priests touching younger things is frowned upon. He wasn't a priest when he touched
you.
I'm the angel, you know, and when he touched me, he was not yet a priest. But he, after that, decided to find God.
You drove someone to finding God. I love that you just really keep going with this. Like, we could have not had to touch on it more, but you're like, no, I was touched by a priest. Let me explain it.
Well, you know, there's a lot of priest touching controversies. I just want to make sure that people knew I wasn't a victim. No, I took that V card.
You were willingly touched by a priest, and you touched that priest back. I gotta stop saying touched by a priest.
It really has to stop. The Laura Blakely just coming out today.
So chapter 52.
Oh, good.
Knock, knock, knock on the door. The slutty little guardian had arrived, showing off that throat of his with gloss green eyes. He had a gift for her, a blade actually. It was his once, and it was his once. Sharp as fucking commas matter, and I forgot. Odessa asked about the hunt, and Ransom told her it didn't go as planned. They followed the trail, but it just kind of stopped. Odessa tells Ransom she thinks something was wrong with the bear wolf in the courtyard and that it was after her specifically, and Ransom actually agrees. He has some solid evidence telling her, I've never seen a monster with or without Lyssa attack fires before. Then there was Ashmore, then the Tarkanin trio, and even Faze. He plays with Baby E, but he's drawn to you, and Odessa has the same theory that she is a beacon for them too. So she thinks something different. It looked at me like it was after me. And I know this sounds like a stretch, but I swear to the gods, it ordered the others to go after me. Okay, the rogue theory with the hierarchy and how their brain develops after being infected with Lyssa. I feel like that is the right path. I don't need to say what I wrote.
And like what we keep saying are the monsters being drawn to Odessa naturally just due to who I think her mother was. But the list is driving them mad and almost like they want to kill their master, which makes me wonder if Odessa is the key to controlling them. Maybe if she can tap into her own magic, she'd be able to, because she obviously has some type of magic that's not yet out. But when you were reading about I've never seen a monster with or without Lyssa attack fires before. And then when a little bit later in the story, when the soldier is just like burn, 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 like why are they burning? Burn a hunk of
Unless a certain god like Isaac sent them from hell.
mm-hmm. Something
Who's
to ponder.
say?
Who's to say? Why choose a theory?
Ransom has been thinking this since the Voster were weird to her. Odessa started to panic, thinking about the attacks and how she was drawing them in. Odessa is heading into flight mode, and Ransom tells her no. He was very firm in that she was not leaving Tara or him. So she's like, okay, well, let's moonlight a scientist and test this theory. Her husband is like, no. He gets dramatic and offers her an out back to Quentis because he thinks he's failing her. She says no, and he is relieved because he was ready to go with her because he is hers. He then tells her, when I am nothing but dust and ash, Tara will endure. I do not need a crown, and I have made peace with my destiny. But before I step into my grave, my choice is you. This is what gets him a week pass to my reverse harem. Like, this line alone. I have to wait for the next book before he gets like a full invite, but like, he's ready.
He's ready. He's ready to go.
Definitely.
I just want to mention, like, it just makes me laugh that we just say Tara every time. And like for people that just like say casually tune into an episode because they see like a theory, we know it's Tara. Just want to point that out. We know that. Just that's all.
Blakely added an extra R one time, and I've read it like as hurrah every single time since then, and I literally can't get it away.
Yeah, it's just
It-
Tara. Tara.
It's as bad as Signet, but that one was like I literally could not say the word.
You weren't capable. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not as fancy as Signet anymore. It took 2 books to get to Signet, but we got there.
And I got to listen to that the other day. You finally doing it. It was nice. Good for you.
It's finally clicking. It's finally clicking when he says, my choice is you. And then she holds her scarred palm to his and tells him, you are my choice. We have green eyes, which means sexual tension release can pass fucking go. They have a very spicy makeout, and Odessa wraps her legs around him. He tries to yap, and she refers to herself as his wife in a way that, like, she wants to be his wife, and they keep passionately kissing. Odessa's finally DTF because she tells him more. He tells her that he loves her hair. She tells him to take his shirt off. She took a mental picture of his cum gutters, and then Ransom started removing Odessa's clothes. They are cum gutters. They're described as deep V's. It is what it is. But we have a new eye color. She thinks his elbows bracketed my face. His eyes a color I'd never seen before. A color without a name. They encompassed every shade of green from emerald to jade. And I'm going to assume this is the color of like true love, soulmate, bond, like locking into fucking place. Like they are.
Snapped.
Yep, it's that the bond. It's snapping in place because they're fucking.
Baby
Your
fuck.
finger snapped perfectly for that.
I'm good at this. This is on accident.
Some X-rated things start happening that I don't need to get into detail about, but it is a very well written, passionate moment. Odessa does get hers first, and I love that for her. So then they go for another, like a round two. And I just want to say it was well goddamn written. I love Devney's spicy writing. I love a good spicy scene. Legit.
And like Ransom, he seems like a good lay. You know, I feel like Flag Boy, aka Banner, would just be a bore and a selfish lover. So I'm glad that this was what she got in life.
Banner would like jackhammer, get his, and be done.
Chapter 53. Odessa and Ransom.
Are you looking at me for me reading? Looking at me for me?
Me for me. Have a cute little morning. He found her reading a book that Kath had dropped off for her, one about Calandran folklore. So she read him a story about a man named Sonnet that wandered for 90 days under the sky darkened by Crux wings. He should have been killed, easy peasy, but Mac, the god of war, took pity on him. Sonnet survived by speaking to the crux. Mac had planted words on his mind. He walked and whispered his stories. A new tale for each day he wandered. Ransom told her that he read Sonnets 90 before. It's in a book in a library in Alisaria. Or it was.
Just because we love name meanings, sonnet is a gender-neutral name of Italian and Latin origin, referring to a type of 14-line poem. The name derives from the Italian word sonetto, which means little song. Sonnets were invented in the 13th century and were often used to express love.
On that note, so Calandra has several meanings. Lovely one, or lark, aka the singing bird. This relates to the Italian translation of Calandra as skylark. The name references Calandra lark, a bird known for its distinctive and musical tunes. This connection is where the lovely voice aspect comes in, as the name can be used as a nickname for someone with a beautiful singing voice. Okay, so remember how Sora means sky or heaven, and let's just add Calandra's skylark meaning. What if Odessa can command or talk to the crux to convince them not to kill by reciting the words that were used in Sonnets 90? What if that book is the cure? Those whispers were given from a god to not attack. What if, because of who Odessa's mom was, she is the one, the only one who can control them, the sparrow? Also, what if the book was destroyed in the Alisaria library, but there is another copy in Lane where Sonnet was born from? And that will be our next adventure in the next book.
We don't need to read anymore. Good job, Blake. We're done. I think you're right.
Thank you. I feel like I am right on that one a little bit.
I love that every theory. I think I am right on this one, but
I think I'm right a lot. Okay. You know, we'll see for the next book for like Onyx Storm or book 4, because we thought we were right about a lot of things.
we'll find out.
But I kind of feel like we're right about this.
I feel like we're right about a lot of things. I think we're really smart.
I think
Even though that you did not tell me that on Wednesday, but
I wasn't even talking about it. Odessa asks him, he can tell her about Alisaria. He shakes his head no. She asks again, are you bound by the blood oath? Silence. Odessa goes on, I think that's where it started. The source of Lyssa came from Alisaria. Someone there created it. He tells her, I realize the mystery of Alisaria makes it sus, but if it originated there, the Vibros would have felt it. But she's like, okay, but what if they didn't because their magic hadn't attuned to it yet? He got real defensive, and it was like, they are not the enemy. She was annoyed with his faith in them and his lack of trust in her. She says, can you understand after yesterday why I don't feel the same? Ransom hung his head and nodded. Odessa says, maybe it didn't start there, but maybe it could end there. Maybe your healers and alchemists and even the Voster can cure it.
So this is priests have spent years trying to find the cure. If they tell me it cannot be cured, then it cannot be cured. So are we sure that the priests have done and are doing all that they can? Are they siphoning enough from his blood to keep him from becoming the cure somehow? I just don't trust them. I mentioned it earlier with like how he's like foggy still. Is that like them just stirring his blood up and not actually removing it, or what? I
Well,
don't know. I just don't trust them.
I am kind of feeling like when Ransom hung his head and nodded, like, you understand why I don't feel the same. And then he got so defensive of they're not the enemy. I wonder if in their blood oath, like, he's not allowed to say anything bad about them or he's not allowed to question them. It's almost like a Jedi mind trick of like, no, you get this from us, whatever their kingdom got with this deal, as long as you don't talk badly about us or don't like ask questions. Like,
It has to all like tie into the blood oath for Alisaria specifically. Like there's no way.
no, there's not. Ransom with sad boy eyes says there's no cure. Odessa's like, there was no lyssa in recent years. Why the fuck can't there be a cure? Why are you giving up? He tells her the Vibros have been trying for years. If they tell him there's no cure, there's no cure. He doesn't want that fake hope. She tells him that she'll just keep the hope for herself. It's training time, but not in the ring kind. Things start heating up, but they are cock-blocked by the door. Xavier Boy was there letting him know that bear wolves were spotted nearby. It's hunting time. Her brain went on overdrive, so she decided to get out of the house. She started daydreaming about Ransom and his top-notch lovemaking, and then started being Violet 2.0 and hyper-focusing on finding a cure. While she was walking, a man dressed in a hospital gown came staggering out. She asked if he was okay. The moment she touched his skin, she gasped. It was burning hot. She told him he needed to get inside and he needed to heal her. His hand flew to her throat and squeezed. He stares at her. I'm burning. It's melting me inside. I swore to serve my king and burn, burn, burn. She had no way to scream. A shout rang in the distance for him to stop. The man kept repeating, kill her, kill her, kill her. He said, make it stop, make the burning stop. The pressure around her neck was excruciating. Another person yelled. She found her knife and sliced it across his throat. Blood poured out, dark green blood. She kept coughing, gasping for air. The soldier held her by her arm and called for the healer. She stared at the man she killed, and everything faded. Fade black.
Let's talk about the soldier in the infirmary gown with the green blood. I feel like he was commanded with the whole like kill her, kill her, kill her thing. Like obviously we touched on the burning sensation earlier for a little bit, but I feel like it was a command.
And I actually don't think it was Ramsay that is making that command. Yes. Like, I just don't. I know that's how they.
Yeah, I don't think it's Ramsay either. I agree with you.
Yeah, they write it to make you think that, and that's what she thinks, but it's unreliable narration. Like, I don't think that's the case. There's something else. Because
I agree.
Ramsay was a good guy, a likable guy, all until a certain point. Yes, he got angry, but something kind of snapped, and everyone's like, he doesn't make sense anymore. But why? He's on
He
his own.
snapped where he's like obsessive over keeping everyone safe. So, and
He's on
maybe
his own.
it has to do with the blood oath. He can't say certain things why he's obsessed with like helping them.
And what if he's just trying to like fix this so he can help his kid? I mean, he was willing to kill the person that he loved, his wife, over what she did to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's just a misunderstood king. Literally. Didn't mean to
I
say.
have hope for him. I don't think he is like King Cross. I don't think that they are.
No,
in
King
a
Cross
similar-
sucks. King Cross sucks. Margot's the only one that I have potential hope for.
Same. And I do have hope for Ramsay. I do think he was misunderstood. What if he was given lyssa? Because I did ask, like, what color is his blood? So maybe he got like a different version of it.
Right.
First trial or something along the lines.
Who's to say?
Why choose? Why
What?
choose now? Chapter 54. Odessa is instructed not to get out of bed or talk by Tilia. That guy that strangled her really did a doozy on her. Tilia apologizes for bringing the men there, but that's silly because she didn't know they were infected and possessed. She had to come to terms with she killed one of them and it wasn't her favorite pastime. And then she started replaying what he said in her head. Make it stop, make the burning stop. I swore to serve my king and burn, burn, burn. Kill her, kill her, kill her. She thinks it's Ramsay wanting to kill her and that Lyssa made his words nonsense. Luella comes in and gives her a mother's love hug, which, what's that? And Odessa loses it.
Make it stop. Make the burning stop. Is he asking her to make it stop? Like she has the power to do so? What if, when infected with Lyssa, the monster's men inherently know that she is the cure, so they are commanded to kill her? Like deep down, he knows that she's the one that could help him, but the infection is driving him mad. So they need to get rid of the threat of killing her.
And okay, so like they're instructed to kill her. I swore to serve my king, which makes me think it's like one of the gods, like Isaac or something, because obviously it's a male of some sort. What if it's King Cross? I swore to serve my king, and we don't think highly of him.
Well, we know that Ramsay had gotten all these men that went missing, and it was infecting them with Lyssa, and it was killing them. Like Ramsay was the one doing this, which obviously doesn't make him sound very good. So I think that she's putting the two together. Like I swore to serve my king and burn, 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 thinking that they're related. But I don't think that Ramsay's intention was for that. He thought like, I'm going to build this super army that can fight these animals, and that would be able to, but it's just killing them inside instead, which makes you wonder, why isn't Ransom dead? Like what's different about his blood and everything?
Right. Maybe why the Voster chose him to be their potential leader. But I mean, like, this is why I'm saying it sounds like there's a master commanding them. Obviously, it says, I swore to serve my king. But she also thought, had Lyssa addled his brain to the point where nothing he said was believable, or was Lyssa just in the process of taking over his brain and he was like fighting it? He's like, I don't want this to consume me. And that's why we've got the two versions of what he's saying.
Yeah,
Definitely a commander.
yeah, I think it's everything he's saying is kind of like double meaning a little bit. Like you could take it at face value, but there's something we don't know. And I think you're right. They're being commanded in a different way. Not from the king, but from
Right. A king, but not King Ramsay.
Right.
The king of who's like commanding this.
Remember when Ramsay, no, sorry, when Ransom was like, the Voster Bros would never bow down to a mortal king.
That's why I'm saying like they might have picked Ramsay as their king, but not like obviously the murderous king, unless Ramsay is trying to murder Odessa secretly.
No, so I think the V Bros would never bow down to a mortal king, so it's not going to be Ramsay, but there's one of the gods is like a king, maybe one of the six, if they're not the six, and that they're going.
Maybe that's why Cross wants to take them out, because he wants to be king of Calandra, but he knows that the Voster will never let that happen, so he wants to get to Alisaria because he knows that's where he lives, so he wants to take them all out.
Mm-hmm. King Cross sucks.
He really does.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Gold King title, makes him extra shitty.
Big time.
Luella comforts her, and so Odessa gives her a glance. Then realization hits. She is Ransom and Baby E's mom. Luella is shook, thinking Ransom gossiped, but Odessa is too smart for her own good and lets her know that her secret's safe with her. Luella shares that the king wasn't her true love, and that she expects him to find her eventually. Ransom barrels in, very upset that his wife was almost killed, and Luella government names him to calm him down. Odessa immediately is like, I 86'd a man from life today. He tells her about the first man he did that to, who happened to be Xavier's stepdaddy, who tried to kill him first. Odessa starts crying, and Ransom comforts her. She realizes he is healing her inner child.
So we get a couple different things here. Luella says Elder is the farthest fortress from Alisaria. Okay, I'm not our resident map expert. I'm no fucking Lewis and Clark. Kylie will have to be the judge of this, especially because she has a hard on for the mountains. But have you taken a look at where Elder is compared to Alice?
Well, we can only like infer so much. But yeah, I mean, it is the farthest.
From the mountains
Damn
that
it.
you had in your brain? Okay, that was because there's obviously mountain ranges all in the back, so I was just making sure that the certain ones were.
I mean, I'm guessing.
That's those ones? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they're the farthest away. They look tall from the map.
Perfect. Also, Luella says, for a long time, too long, my father's opinion was all that mattered. Before beshadowing, or I hope you're listening, Miss Odessa. Like, all she wanted to do was prove to her father that she's worthy, and now it's like, no, not worth it. Please don't.
What your parents think doesn't matter.
Nope. Never been liked, so I don't know.
Can't relate like to parents caring.
No, can't relate at all. So love these cutie patoots. I just feel like they're healing each other, and I hope this is the shadow of the four that they can find a way to heal the lyssa.
It says, Ransom held me as if he was absorbing the pain from my body into his. Maybe he was, as they healed each other. Lots of green flags from Ransom here, but what if he like really was healing her, like that lyssa in him just took her sadness.
Like this?
Yep, just click, 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 sadness, go. The words were coming out and I couldn't stop them. I'm sorry.
Clip, 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 sadness, go.
So just because we love name meanings, the name Luella is a smush name that combines Lou from Louisa with the popular ending Ella. The name could have some lofty meanings such as battle famous fairy maiden, goddess of battle, she who is glorious in war, or renowned warrior of light, depending on which etymological root you follow. I mean, she doesn't last long in a battle, but she is a warrior for hiding from the king as long as she has. And you know what? What she created really could help her win this battle.
Okay, so you know how Ransom is fine with the lyssa and is doing just great. And if that's what his mom's name means, what if she, or if the bloodline was touched by Mac, the god of war? So you have the god of war, and then you have, with Odessa, Sora potentially. We didn't meet any new people, right? Or did we?
No? I mean, we met Luella, as in we know that she is Ransom's dad.
Who's your daddy now?
No, we officially met Luella as Ransom's mom. But thanks for tuning in and joining us. We have new episodes every Wednesday with only 2 episodes left of Journeying Through Calandra. If you love the podcast, please share on your stories and tag us.
Don't forget to follow us on the social medias. And Avi, we love it when you write us reviews, only good ones. All links are in our info, you giggling gal pals. See you later, alligator.